Dun 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 dun. This is Millennial Man Motions Entertainment. LLC. It is May of 2023, and this is the Mission Impossible 1 1996 movie discussion podcast with my good friend and co-host, Avi. So let's get started. Avi, you wanted to first announce something that you thought should have happened at the end of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Please go tell the audience and listeners what you wanted to happen in your mind about that.
So the mind about that, what I should have at the end of the Crystal Skull, after they showed the wedding scene in the end, before the end credits, what I should have in mind the first time, they should have the post-credit scene about when Indy goes back to his office at his college, about he's not the only one who's in his office at desk. Who's in there was Tom Cruise, who works for the CIA, about as Indiana Jones for the assignment. He wants to know what is the Excalibur, the legendary sword of King Arthur, who holds it during the early age of Britain.
That would have been a neat way to see a post-credit scene of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for everybody, and that would keep Harrison Ford possibly on a fifth movie after that kind of an ending. The whole King Arthur thing, what would he use that for when Tom Cruise gives that to him?
But it's just assignment just like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then too, the Army intelligence asked there's been a report about the Nazis uncover about the Tanis in Egypt, where they were looking for the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay, but
it's just like he did another Army intelligence about CIA as Indiana Jones about there's been a report about another Russians report about finding Excalibur.
Okay, I like that you had to mention Russian there because it took place in 1957 during the whole Cold War Soviet stuff. So it still had to do with the Russians, with what you're all trying to see there about that. That would have been a neat and somewhat experience if that was a post-credit for Crystal Skull. That's cool how that's in your imagination like that. With that Indiana Jones Tom Cruise mention of a thought of what could be, now let's get into the actual title itself. The first time Tom Cruise plays Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 1 back in May of 1996. This is what, 26 or 27 years old now? What are your initial opening thoughts of Mission Impossible 1?
Well, this is the first movie I saw when I was almost before I was a teenager, when it first came out in the 90s, about the EVA VHS. It's actually a first movie is actually based on a TV shows, a classic show from back in '66.
Right, it was based off the classic show of the 60s where there was an important character, the main boss guy of the TV show.
Jim Phelps.
Yeah, Jim Phelps. The TV version of Jim Phelps, he did not want to come onto the project. Can you tell the audience listeners why the original Jim Phelps from the TV show did not want to come onto the movie project?
Because even though he read something about the script, they found out about turns out one character, Jim Phelps, now played by John Boyd, turns out he was a bad guy. He was a bad guy all along.
Exactly. He didn't like that he would be the bad guy all along. He didn't like that idea. He didn't want to be any part of that. So that's what they. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen that movie, John Voight would be doing that part.
And you know who plays the original Jim Phelps in the TV series?
Tell us.
Peter Graves, the one from the Airplane. The original pilot captain in the Airplane in 1980. You ever see a grown man naked before?
Oh, was that one of his lines?
That's what his line. That's what he used in that.
I'm glad you told me in the audience that, because everybody, after we're done all the Mission Impossible movies 1 through 6, we're actually going to be doing Airplane, the original Airplane 1980, right after the 6 Mission Impossible movies. So that's very nice that you told me that the original Jim Phelps had some kind of what part in Airplane again?
You ever seen him go man naked before?
That was one of his lines, and he was one of the
pilot captain.
One of the pilots.
He's the one who got sickness from the food poisoning.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, definitely tell me more about him when we get to Airplane. That's a nice reference, though, that they connect to both of those things. Okay, so now that we mentioned Jim Phelps, what did you think about some of the other characters in Mission Impossible 1?
Well, sometimes it's like very beginning of a movie. It's like a whole movie about this. So it's like a point of view camera. Like I thought it sounds like a reality show when you're on spying mission, but it's like almost for real about like. Also I like about this. You don't know who makes the cameos. Emilio Estevez, but he was uncredited.
Yeah, I think they put him in on purpose to be a part of this, only for the audience to be surprised what would happen to him so early on in the beginning of it.
Yeah, even something like
because he was a big name. He was a big name before that movie came out. I think that was the last big movie he did. He didn't really do many movies after MI1.
What the?
No, I think that was the last big movie he did. I don't think he was in anything much bigger after, as big as MI1. MI1 was after it. That was kind of the last big thing he did, and that's what he did.
Even though he directed in 2006, Emilio Estevez directed one about Bobby. He had the movie about political, about during Bobby Kennedy's last moment. It takes place. I mean, movie Bobby is about It takes place in the hotel, the Ambassador Hotel, where President Kennedy is about to be almost elected president before he was got down. Emilio Estevez directed something about for his father. He likes about the Kennedy's politics.
Oh, so whatever that was about had something to do with the Kennedy family?
Yeah, no, it's about it takes place about who works at the Ambassador Hotel before Bobby Kennedy's comes in, and then the assassination, about those who works at the hotel who lives there.
It has something to do with assassinations in regards to some things with the Kennedy family.
Bobby Kennedy, where he's so close about the winning the election, but then in the end he got cut short. Life's cut short.
Got you. Now, just to keep this current for everybody, recently on the Democratic side to oppose Sleepy Joe, I don't know who he was exactly, but one of the Kennedy guy wants to go against Biden as the other potential nominee. We'll see what happens with that. Right. But keep it current. Kennedy is in for all that. Okay, so we talked about what's his face, who was in the Mighty Ducks. Yes,
Estevez. A fairly lengthy uncredited role.
Right.
At the beginning of this movie, he even has quite a few memorable lines of dialogue. Tom Cruise had previously made a similarly uncredited cameo in Estevez's earlier movie, Young Guns.
Oh yeah, wait, what happened with Young Guns?
Because Tom Cruise makes it, you don't know, he makes uncredited cameo, but
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I did not know that. In Young Guns, Tom Cruise also has an uncredited cameo himself.
Yeah, just that one scene about
I never.
Has a mustache and he shoots a gun.
Oh wow, okay, that's interesting because you always teach me something new. I never actually saw the Young Guns movies, so that's interesting about Young Guns. That is what described with Tom Cruise is in that like that. Wow.
It's a Western movie in the 80s. So
right.
And also sometimes even the Emilio Estevez and Tom Cruise works together before in the 1983 The Outsiders with.
In '83 they also worked together in the Outsiders movie.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Ralph Macchio and Patrick Swayze.
Right. All that.
Rob Lowe.
Rest in peace to Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
So okay. Now the next one I wanted to say was we had that French actor from The Professional.
Jean Reno.
Yeah. That's his name. Now you say his name. He played a bad guy in this. He's in this.
Bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also about another thing who's also in it. There's the actress, English actress named Kristen Scott Thomas.
What was her name again?
Kristen Scott Thomas.
Right. She was one of the female agents, right?
One of the female agents, and then she gets killed off.
Again, anybody, don't be upset at us. This movie's like 26 or 27 years old, so we're just assuming you already saw this movie if you opened up this podcast or video. So her character gets killed off early on as well, is what you said?
Yeah, early in the movie about when all the teams gets killed off, that leaves Tom Cruise is surviving. Nice,
right. Now, before we get into anything more about the characters or the story, I just wanted to say that This is the only Mission Impossible movie since the ones after that where Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt actually does not use or shoot in his hand a gun at any point. He may use guns in the sequels, but in Mission Impossible 1, 1996...
Well, he used only the bandage. Yeah, the explosive
Yeah,
bandage.
yeah, maybe a bandage explosive, but he never actually holds or uses a gun on anybody.
I mean, when he throws a bandage to the aquarium, when he's escaping from the one that the
Right.
the IMF chief,
Yeah.
that's the first time about, because in the original series of Mission Impossible, the IMF chief only hear the voice as the tape recording device.
Oh, that's what I love about the beginning of all these movies. When he has the recording device thing that lets him know what his mission is on each one.
This mission, this
right.
tape was self-destruct in 5 seconds,
right.
because that's in the series. The IMF chief is off screen.
Right.
But now for the film series, this is the first time that we have to see on screen about to make him meet him personal.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's true. No gun in the first movie, just other stuff. You mentioned his that was one of his first big stunts in the first movie, which you said, which is the whole aquarium type thing. Of course, after that aquarium stuff, he would go on to do much bigger and more blown up stuff as stunts in the further installments. And then we have another female character outside of her.
There's a French actress.
Yes, the French actress. Yes,
yeah, she's the one that she's a French actress about that. I remember you saw her in a movie called Manon of the Spring, back in 1986.
Wait, what was that one about?
It's like a French countryside films about the one who owns the property of the farm, but from the hunchback about there's a family secrets about it takes place like a farm life in the French country.
Oh, okay, that's interesting for that '86 movie. All I can say, I haven't seen that '80s movie. I've only seen her in Mission Impossible 1. All I just want to say real quick about her, she's very, very attractive looking.
Yeah, and also, do you know who directed that movie, the first Mission Impossible?
Yeah, Brian De Palma.
The one he also directed another film based on TV shows in '87 called The Untouchables.
Oh, that's right. He did direct also '87's Untouchables, which would have Sean Connery in it.
Sean Connery and Kevin Costner and Robert De Niro.
Yeah, all those people, yeah.
And also about the Untouchables original series back in the 50s, it's the lead actor who plays Alien Ness is Robert Stack, who also stars in the movie The Airplane.
Hold on. I'm getting too much information. After you mentioned The Untouchables and all the people in it, what was the stuff you said right after that?
Because the original series of The Untouchables aired back in '59.
Okay.
The original actor plays Elliot Ness is Robert Stack, who also plays also the same movie with Peter Graves in The Airplane.
In The Airplane, did they have any scenes together or no?
No, they don't. They don't share a
So
screen.
who is this person? Who is this person that's not Peter Graves?
Peter Graves, Robert Stack.
The name is Robert Stack, okay. And Robert Stack was in the TV version of The Untouchables?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, there's another Airplane reference with Robert Stack. So, again, everybody, if you guys are a fan of the movie original Airplane from 1980 comedy, we're going to be discussing that directly after covering the first 6 Mission Impossible movies. So look out.
And Brian Tabama directed Scarface and Carrie. He also directed, sometimes he wanted to be like just all the styles of Alfred Hitchcock.
Right, yes. Yes, for anybody that's into Scarface, he did direct Scarface. He directed The Carrie. He directed a number of different things. For sure.
The Carlitos Way.
Right, all that kind of stuff with the crime.
And sometimes like the one Dressed to Kill and the Blowout with John Travolta.
Right, all that kind of stuff. Dressed to Kill and Blowout. The one thing I want to mention as far as directors of this are concerned, it's very interesting. Of all the directors that directed Mission Impossible, Every director, with the exception of one, was asked to come back to do further installments. The only director not asked to come back was Mission Impossible 2's John Woo. John Woo and Tom Cruise didn't have a good enough relationship where he would want John Woo to do other further installments. So Brian De Palma, what's the guy? John Woo was not asked to come back. He was the only director not asked to come back for a further installment. So every other director was, but with the exception, no John Woo for furthermore. So Brian De Palma, and I'm losing track on that alias name guy.
J.J. Abrams?
Yes, J.J. Abrams. Brian De Palma, J.J. Abrams, whoever the guy was that directed Ghost Protocol, and then George. And then,
yeah, Ghost Protocol is directed by Brad Bird.
Right, Brad Bird.
Director.
Yes, he directed.
Director did Incredibles and
Yes.
Ratatouille, Iron Giant.
Those animated type
action movies.
Those animated type things. Every director, with the exception of John Woo, they were all asked, with the exception of John Woo, to come back to direct more. Obviously, we saw that Christopher McQuarrie is doing 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hopefully, 7 and 8 are so incredible, awesome that it's okay that he directed 4 of them. Hopefully. But yeah, no, John Woo was not asked. Only the other directors, and yes, that was the animated things that of Ghost Protocol that Brad Bird did. So that was my quick thing about directors. Back to the story and characters itself.
And also, sometimes for the upcoming, there's a 2 parts film. You know, as it would be not produced by J.J. Abrams.
Wait, it is or isn't?
Well, after the third, there's a 4th, 5th, and 6th, and it's all produced by J.J. Abrams through Bad Robot Company.
Right. Is he coming back for 7 and 8 or no?
I don't think so. He's not going to be credited.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's good that he's not coming back for that.
Because he needs to take some kind of hiatus or something. Yeah?
Okay, yeah, maybe there's. I think the movies 7 and 8 should still be worth watching, even if.
I meant for J.J. Abrams' career, he needs to take a big break.
Yeah, if he needs to take a break, he should take a break. I'm sure 7 and 8 will be doing just fine without him being a part of those ones. Only 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, all right. What else about other characters or story elements would you like to tell the audience?
Vic Rames, introducing Vic Rames.
Oh, of course. So Vic Rames, Tom Cruise liked a lot in 1. Because after Mission Impossible 1, them being friends and wanting to be a part of these, Vic Rames is the only other character outside of Tom Cruise himself who's been in every single Mission Impossible movie, the 2 of them. Yeah. But here, for anybody seeing Ghost Protocol for the first time, he's only shown as a quick cameo, like at the very end of the movie.
Very end of the movie.
I think they paid him like a good however many million just to be in that scene, because without that, he would have not been in any other part of 4, Ghost Protocol. But yeah, outside of the cameo at the end of 4, he has big parts of all the rest of them.
All right. And also, this is one of the first big movies to film in Prague. You know, the country Prague, after its freedom from communism in 1989.
Well, yeah, Prague, I think, is the name of the city, and it's Czech Republic.
It's a country like Czechoslovakia.
It was Czechoslovakia, and now it's called the Czech Republic.
Yeah,
it took.
Like it's the first time that it's free that you're allowed to film this.
Oh, nice, so allowed. Yeah, allowed to film in Prague, Czech Republic. That was nice. That was allowed. Just because that came out in '96 and that was allowed. A quick other spy reference. In Moscow or some part of Russia, they allowed Pierce Brosnan to film in some part of Russia for GoldenEye in '95.
So yes, it's after even also the one movies in the late '80s, '88. It's the first time they allowed to film the part of Russia is Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Red Heat.
I saw Red Heat. I've seen Red Heat. Yes, it was okay. You know, it's okay. It was when he had the American.
It's like a buddy action movie, a prior buddy action movie, and Arnold's switching his voice accents from the Austrian to Russian.
And he had the American agent friend with him, and the different accents. Yeah. Not to get too far off track, since you mentioned Schwarzenegger in Red Heat, do you have a particular favorite Schwarzenegger movie, or how many Schwarzenegger movies do you like?
Besides, I like about all the Terminator movies, but you also I saw Predator, and my parents liked him in Total Recall, and
he was good. He was good in Predator and Total Recall. But did you just say all Terminator movies?
And Commando.
Wait, what did you said after Predator and you said
Total Recall?
Total Recall. You said what else?
There's also one about the Commando.
Oh, and the Commando, yeah. Commando came out in my year, 85, my birth. 85 for Commando. But real quick, you said all the Terminator movies. Wait,
only the first 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was good in the first 2, but he wasn't good in the other ones that he was in. Only 1 and 2. I was just going to clarify, because when you said all the Terminator movies, I thought you liked him in 3, 5, and 6.
I must have ad-libbed.
All right, so just to be on the same page, we're talking how he was in 1 and 2, but not 3, 5, and 6. Good clarification there about the Terminator movies. All right, back to Mission Impossible. Anything, what other characters?
Also, the greatest scene about in the Mission Impossible, everyone's imitating, is go break into the vault with the hanging on the wires.
Yes, and the part that I was talking about right there, if the wires aren't going down, if you clicked on the video version of this, that is what what we're trying to go for with the actual thumbnail. So that's Tom Cruise's character Ethan Hunt in that position of the movie in the thumbnail shot.
Yeah, and also even he knows how to avoid droplets. So
Yeah, you're right. The whole thing with that, with the droplets and trying to get the disc and all there into that room, that was really well done. But I didn't really feel the whole water thing with the aquarium, that other part, the aquarium and exploding that. I know he was running from it or something, but I never felt that the whole water aquarium thing was that big of a stunt. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't the best thing he ever did. The other stunts he'll do in like the further movies are, I think, a little bit more remembered or highlighted to me than say that aquarium one. But yeah. What else did you want to say? The story. So you said in the story, they got to be able to film in Prague, Czech Republic, and you mentioned the scene where he has to go into the disc and the whole thing there. Which since we were talking about Ghost Protocol earlier, the thing is for Ghost Protocol, then they have what's his face, Jeremy Renner try to recreate that by him having to be the one to do it in Ghost Protocol in a way.
Yeah,
which we'll get.
Except the one that he's writing on something magnetic, you know, like. Through the hot ventilation.
Yeah, exactly. Before I forget, since the internet, believe it or not, people, the internet still existed in both 1995 and 1996. Just like the internet is a big part of GoldenEye, in 1996's Mission Impossible 1, Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt actually goes on a computer on a really slow, weak modem-like internet to do his research.
The buffering.
Yeah, the buffering, and it was really slow, and it was really slow internet because it was 1996. And when he went on the internet, he found the clues by connecting some sort of biblical connection, but it was the internet slow dial-up modem like internet of 96 to have Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt on the internet on a computer in 1996. So yes, we did have the internet in 95 and 96, but for anybody born after 2000, it was a whole lot slower in the 90s. So thank God you live in the 2010s and 2020s when the internet is now much faster than it was in the 1990s. All right, I had to get that internet reference out there. What else would you like to tell the audience listeners about Mission Impossible? It could be about the story, the characters, whatever the case may be.
Also about the sometimes like what happens on every movie like in the original series, every episode opens up in after you light the fuse of the because they show about some scenes that later on show what will happen in the movie.
Whoa, that's right. That does show that. Yeah, that's kind of spoilerish in the beginning itself, because if people pay real close attention, they'll see story elements after that scene that get ruined by that being shown in the whole fire blowing up the match thing. Yeah, I know they were showing that. The way I remember that for sure is at the beginning of Fallout, Mission Impossible 6 Fallout, it was definitely showing that, what you're describing in that. And I guess they did it in the other movies as well, so that's a good, nice...
It's just even a TV series that it's based on,
right?
Because every episode opens up with after one character light the fuse, it shows what could happen in the event about some scenes you might find out in the episodes.
Right, exactly, yeah. Now, I was just telling Avi offline, I was just saying how that I think they're ending Tom Cruise's tenure of this at the end of Mission Impossible 8, which is supposed to come out hopefully ideally in June of 2024. That 7 and 8, it's going to close up the Ethan storyline. But what I was telling Avi offline is that I really thought that Tom Cruise could be doing this into his 90s. Obviously, he doesn't want to do this into his 90s. He wants to work on other non-spy-like projects, on whatever other projects non-spy he had in mind. But I could easily see Tom Cruise...
Even I heard something about I heard that his next movie is the first time you could film the movie in outer space.
I heard that. I don't know.
No special effects, but real.
I heard that might be happening, or that's rumored to be happening. We'll see what happens with that whole space thing. But yeah, I would gladly pay my money to see him play Ethan Hunt into his 90s and have Mission Impossible 9, 10, 11, even though it sounds like it's ending at 8. But yeah, there is a possibility, or at least rumored thing about the whole space thing you mentioned.
Right. And this is the only Mission Impossible film in the series to do the trademark mask thing with entirely practical effects.
Well, no, they do a mask in all the movies. What do you mean?
Because practical effects, like the CGI mask is designed about, it looks like a photocopy of real, but even old style practical effects and old style makeup, even though that's not like
Okay, so wait. So they did the masks also in the other movies, the sequels, but is this the only one?
Even on the sequels, they shows like a computer animation. Looks like a real
Okay, so in this first,
shows like a CGI mask.
okay, so in this first one, it's the only one where it's only practical effects.
Yeah, like original style, like where you do like all the something go bold or like
Right.
like how you peel up without no computer animation type.
Right. Okay, so it's practical in this first movie, and while they still do masks in the other movies, maybe that's kind of possibly more CGI of it.
CGI mask.
CGI more of the mask. I like how
in the sequel they have a mask designed to
right.
machine.
I like how in the third movie, Mission Impossible 3 in 2006, I like how they were showing how they made the mask in the Mission Impossible 3 scene.
It's real wild about design it for next time. Even the fourth one also, they did that on the fourth movie, but it's got a little technical for faulty.
Right. Wait, say that last part again?
They also did that same machine in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol about with that same machine how to design a mask.
Oh yeah, that was in that.
It got glitches. It got glitches.
Right, but no, that's right. That was in Ghost Protocol 4 as well. You're right. For anybody that's a big fan of the first original movie, Mission Impossible 1, 1996, the one character, how do you say his name? Look up the name. People. The guy that we don't know if he's good or bad in the first movie, but he looks to be bad.
It's like that.
Okay. Okay.
Hello? Hey there, what's up? Oh. If I want to say 597-9160. I'm still on the podcast. Okay, bye. Love you, dude. It's Dad calling. Sorry about that.
That's fine. I thought that was the case.
He wants to find out contacting Rabbi Kaplan for this Mishnah Berurah on phone lesson.
The what?
Rabbi Kaplan for his phone lesson, the phone call lesson with the rabbi about Mishnah Berurah.
Oh, Mishnah. Oh, that was the word. Mishnah, and then the title of it after Mishnah. Okay, got you. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. So, the name, the first movie, we're not quite sure if he's good or bad in the first movie, but he looks to be bad by coming back in 7. For anybody like the first movie, what's that?
Henry's Journey. Henry.
That's the actor's name, and then he plays, what was it, Kendridge? Is it called?
What? Kendridge?
Yeah, what was his actual character's name?
Oh, hold on a sec. Let me get the full cast of crew.
So if anybody really liked the first movie,
Henry Journey Kittredge.
That's the actor's name, and Kindredge, right?
He's the one first character plays a chief of the IMF chief.
Yes, yes. Now, is he supposed to be good or bad in the first movie?
Well, it's actually it turns out he wants when he meets Ethan Hunt at the restaurant. It turns out it's all part of the ruse to find out to find out who's the traitor of the spy.
Okay, because it looks like he's possibly very bad in this 7th movie. Possibly.
Well, even though sometimes he's very arrogant, something like a personality,
right?
Just like Alec Baldwin in the Mission Impossible,
5 and 6
Nations,
yeah. Well, let's not get too far ahead. We will be talking about Alec Baldwin once we get to the 5th and 6th movie.
Also, is in it. There's Vanessa Redgrave in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now she plays the contact.
Also, like some kind of villain, supporting villain type, that she's got arrested for it today.
Well, she was like British or something.
British, yeah.
Right. So again, if anybody really liked the first movie, not to get too spoilery, but when we get to Fallout, we find out that her daughter, or I think it's her daughter, in Fallout she's the daughter of that woman in the first movie. So there's all these connections in 6 and 7 back to 1. It's all gonna go full circle. It's gonna be the end of Ethan Hunt's tenure. Hopefully, he with Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2, with all these characters mentioned. So I think the woman you're talking about, if that older woman, she plays the mother or so of that girl in the Fallout. That girl, whatchamacallit, that was in the Fast and the Furious, with the Fast and Furious spinoff.
Oh, that's Helen Mirren.
No, not Helen Mirren. I'm talking the girl that is in Mission Impossible Fallout, where Tom Cruise she kisses him outside in the one scene in Fallout.
Outside.
You have to look up her name, but I think she's supposed to be like the daughter of that woman from the first movie. We gotta look up the actual name, but She has the whole thing on her leg and the thing in the beginning where he's trying to protect her, or not in the one inside the club scene. I think she's supposed to be the daughter of that woman from the first movie. She's in the spin-off Fast and Furious with The Rock and Jason Statham. She played Jason Statham's...
The Vanessa Kirby.
Yes, Vanessa Kirby, I think, is supposed to be playing the daughter of that woman you're describing, Vanessa.
The White Widow.
Yeah, that's how they connect. It's supposed to be the mother-daughter of 1 and 6, of how that's connected, of mother-daughter there with that. So, yeah.
Well, it's been a long time. I haven't watched the first movie, but I only remember that great scene.
Which scene? Which scene?
The breaking the vault.
Oh, just the vault? Well, just the vault. I mean, have you seen the entire movie?
I remember I seen the entire movie, but I forgot all about it. Even I knew about the Henry Stratus finally came back. But for there's a hidden interesting fact about when Tom Cruise first meets Vanessa Redgrave. The Safe Sound Camera Factory removing the pillowcase from his face from a point of view. They'll do the same thing like in the Ghost Protocol.
Well, no, I mean they do a mask thing in each movie and somehow, yeah. But
the pillowcase where it meets a secret location.
Right, yeah,
Sergey,
I just like that there's a mask scene in all of them in some way for sure. We can't wait to see what the mask scene will be like in Dead Reckoning Part 1, Part 7. You were talking about the mask being practical in this one and then CGI in the other ones. Let's talk about the climax real quick. When Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt is going against John Voight's bad guy there, and they're on that vehicle, the train. The train thing. Do you think that train stuff maybe had a lot of like CGI going on because
CGI about speeding about the back?
Because
and through the tunnel.
Yeah, because I was thinking that would be too dangerous to really do for real.
Well, I found out the trivia in 2006 in Brazil. They did complete one helicopter without calling a train. The helicopter did fly through the tunnel.
I know it flew through the tunnel like that. It just seemed like what they were doing there with that whole action and the transport moving. It looked really dangerous to really do for real outside of some sort of like computer or digital way. It looked very dangerous.
Yeah, because that way it's like no way you can do like how to keep the tail ends balanced before you get clipped on.
Right, yeah. Now, I like that as far as the mask stuff is concerned. I think Tom Cruise was playing a politician or whoever the politician guy was. And then there was also a scene with the masks and that where they're doing the mask stuff and running around where they showed the one guy that's part of Mission Impossible 2. That guy who also played the cameo of the bum in Batman Begins. That guy, he's in Mission Impossible 2, but you can briefly see him also in Mission Impossible 1. That same guy that played the bummy homeless guy in Batman Begins cameo. That guy was a big part.
Yeah, I know that.
That guy who was a big.
He was also like a villain in the Mighty Joe Young, 1998. Yeah.
Okay, so he also played a villain in what was it called?
Mighty Joe Young, 1998 with Charlie Theron.
All right, so he was a bad guy in what you just described on a thing I never saw, and I believe he was also bad in one of the Taken.
The actor's name is Ray Zerbegia.
Yes, that guy was a big part of 2 or somewhat of 2. He did have a little part of scene in the first one that connects those. So I like how
Oh, you say
No, I was just gonna say that I like that. Not all, but most of these Mission Impossible movies, some in way, shape, or form, connect to each other in some way.
All right, that's it's like actors' connection.
Yeah, the actors' connection, or some characters having family in some way coming back. But no use of a gun. This was more about spy espionage. It doesn't exactly have the action that all the sequels that came after had, but it was more of a suspense type of thing for this first one because, like you said, it's Brian De Palma directing.
Yeah.
And he did all his other projects. And
he also directed Ving Rhames before in the movie called Casualties of War.
What year did Casualties of War come out?
1989.
Oh, wow, okay. So he actually helped...
Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn.
Oh, I didn't even know that he was in that movie. Okay. I didn't know that... Wait, who was in it? Did you say Ving Rhames?
Ving Rhames.
I didn't even know he was in that movie. That's interesting. I knew Michael J. Fox, but... Okay, that's interesting. All right, so back to Mission Impossible. What else do you think the audience or listeners should know about Mission Impossible 1 from 1996 that we haven't yet already talked about?
And we already know about other original cast besides Peter Graves, about other original cast of the original series, like Martin Landau. All the original cast are just like disowning the feature film about
right.
the.
Well, okay, right. So it wasn't just Peter. It wasn't just Peter Graves that was disowning it. The other cast members from the TV show also did not like that as well.
Like Martin Landau.
Right. Okay. All of them didn't like the thing about it as well. Right. Okay. I could see that. Yeah, I'm really sad because, like I said, I really want to see Tom Cruise be Ethan Hunt into his 90s for Mission Impossible 11, 12, 13, 15. It's very, it's a very end of an era that at the end of Mission Impossible 8 in 2024, he's done with Ethan Hunt and go on to non-spy projects, which you said might possibly have something to do with space type stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
I also heard that he might be coming back to play that funny manager character from Tropic Thunder. They're trying to
like the one about the swears a lot to the. Even if there's gonna be any I hope there's gonna be a spin-off from that.
I don't know, but I think there it's a possibility that what was the name of his character in that whatever the manager thing was called. There's a possibility there'll be a whole movie for him playing that character in its own movie. He plays some sort of Les Grossman movie. A Les Grossman movie might be happening with him coming back. That would be hilarious.
Because even a Les Grossman character, he's based on the movie producer named Joel Silver.
Yeah, Joel Silver was the big producer of action movies for Warner Brothers.
From the 80s
onward.
90s. Before now his contract with it expired.
Okay, it expired, but before they expired...
Les Grossman personality, same thing like Joel Silver does. Like very anxious, he swears a lot. Before they expired, he did stuff like Lethal Weapon... He did Lethal Weapon. Matrix and Die Hard.
Wait, what did you say after Lethal Weapon before Die Hard? He said it so fast.
He also produced Matrix.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Matrix. Is Matrix what you said before Die Hard?
Before Die Hard.
Okay, I'm just trying to hear everything because sometimes you talk so fast it's hard to get all your information from what you say by talking so fast.
And also Joel Silver produced the one with the V for Vendetta.
Yes.
And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Right.
And Sherlock Holmes was Robert Downey Jr.
Well, that's a lot of information. I'm not going to remember all that. But, Hugo Weaving played the voice of that one character in...
V.
Yeah, V for Vendetta, yeah. But you said so much stuff there. I'm going to have to hear it on the rerun on how you're saying so much information there. Please try to slow down your thoughts and opinions because I'm not catching everything. But, okay, Mission Impossible. But I'll try to catch all those action things you said by re-listening to it later. What did you think of John Voight in this movie?
Well, I thought he was okay, but then I never know about it. This is the first time I saw John Voight in that movie and that movie before, because I saw other roles he's in, like in the movie called Holes.
Okay.
And the National Treasure.
Who did he play in Holes?
He plays one of the Mr. Sir, the one who works in charge with next to the warden,
Okay, was he in that movie supposed to be neutral, bad, or good?
Well, sometimes it's bad, but sometimes he plays one of the villain, but he also has a comic type.
Okay, all right. And what did you think about him in National Treasure?
Well, he plays the father to Nicolas Cage character. Sometimes like a part of the relief for the character.
Okay, again,
he's very doubtful if there's going to be a real treasure, but based on the
okay, well, just to keep this all current, I mean, when you mentioned Nicolas Cage, in this year, 2023, Nick Cage is in this little movie called Runfeld. And I honestly got to tell you, when I saw the previews, coming attraction
over the top.
It looks
campy, like a little campy.
It looks a little dumb to me. Yeah, it's definitely campy. To me, that Runfield stuff looks kind of dumb and not like.
Yeah, one actor I like to play who plays the best Dracula role is Gary Oldman in the Francis Ford Coppola version of Dracula.
Oh yeah, he was. Of course, Gary Oldman is great in all the stuff that he's in. Yeah, for sure.
About the best. Gary Oldman is the best. Gary Oldman part of the Dracula is the best one.
Oh, he's the best in playing Dracula. Yeah, he's really.
For Coppola version.
Yeah, he does a really terrific job in all the different movies he's in. Since me being a Batman fan, I like him as Gordon in the Dark Knight trilogy.
All right. Here's about Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma, back to Mission Impossible. Brian De Palma often borrows from the Masters or other movies to create key scenes in this movie. True to form, the dangling wire scenes were borrowed from Topkapi. It's like it's a '60s movie about like a heist. It's a heist movie.
Okay, so what he was trying to do there, De Palma, was actually an homage to something much earlier.
Something about the heist. Like going to steal something, or like it's like Mission Impossible is part being spy, a part like being go on the heist.
Right, part spy, part heist. Okay, got you. Wow. All right, we have just reached 40 minutes in, so I want your quick thoughts about how you thought Tom Cruise played Ethan Hunt in this first movie of the series, and then we'll.
This is like a perfect action role since Top Gun about like something about one person being unexpectedly involved. He's like just like only beginning as a makeup person in disguise in the team, but he doesn't know. He's got to be involved about other conspiracy.
So you liked how he played this movie, and it was like you said, his first biggie action type role since the original Top Gun '86.
Yeah.
Guys, everybody, we actually did discussions on both Top Gun 1 '86 and Top Gun 2 Maverick 2022. So if you're a new subscriber or a new follower or a new fan listener to all of our podcasts, you can catch us talking about Top Gun 1 and 2 in the 2022 section of the catalog of the podcast if you've never seen our discussions on the first two, on 1 and 2's Top Gun. But anyway, yeah, so you liked him in this. I'm sure most of you have already probably seen Top Gun Maverick already.
And also another lead role he plays. You ever saw the movie 1986, other 80s movies called Legend?
I heard of that. I heard of the movie, but I never seen it. I heard a lot of people like to talk about Legend. What would you want to say real quick about Legend?
It's like before the Legend of Zelda. The movie inspired becomes Legend of Zelda video game about the Tom Cruise plays some kind of like Peter Pan type of person, that lives in the woods.
If there's a free way to watch it, I could possibly watch it if there's a free version. But okay, that's interesting.
It's directed by Ridley Scott movie. It's a Ridley Scott movie. Is
whatchamacallit? Is Jennifer Connelly in that?
No, that's Mira Sara.
Oh, that was the other one.
The actress who plays Ferris Bueller girlfriend.
Okay. Wait. In the movie you're talking about now, the L movie.
Legend.
In Legend, it has the girl
Mira
from
Sara, the actress who plays Ferris
Bueller's Day Off. Well, she's an attractive. Okay. She's an attractive actress as well. They're both attractive actresses. Okay, fine. They're both good. Easy on the eyes, both actresses for that. Okay, all right. Now that we're 42 minutes in, I'd like to you tell the audience and listeners your concluding final thoughts on Mission Impossible 1, 1996.
Well, sometimes good thoughts about some things about like the movie that ends with the speeding train is very too over computerized.
That's what I'm saying. Like they couldn't have done that for real without getting hurt. So part of that had to be computerized, some way.
Yeah. And also about and another thing I like about keep holding your breath about where you go into the vault.
Hold your breath while going into the vault, because the vault you have to get.
Exactly. Besides your sweat, your breath or saliva,
Right.
Actually,
the whole thing with with those parts, saliva and all. The thing I like about that vault in the first movie is they try to do the tech version of that in Australia for that one bit part in the middle of Mission Impossible 2. He does something similar for Mission Impossible 2 with the vault in Australia, and then like we said with Jeremy Renner in the one part towards the end of Ghost Protocol 4.
Yeah. Because even though Jeremy Renner is the best role besides Marvel's Avengers series.
Right, he's mostly known for that part in the Avengers series. And then also Tom Cruise.
About Jeremy Renner's recovering from a snowplow accident?
I'm sure everybody's well aware of that if they're not living underneath a rock, yes. I'm sure they've heard of that story. And then Tom Cruise also does a similar type thing with the wires in Mission Impossible 3, both jumping off the building and in that one scene in the one part of the city of Italy. When he's in Italy outside or somewhere,
I thought it's Hong Kong. I thought it was Hong Kong.
I'm not sure. Maybe also in Hong Kong. Maybe he did that in Hong Kong and Italy both. I don't know, because he's always jumping and doing wires from all these different places. So it could possibly be
Spider-Man or something.
Yeah, so he could possibly be doing that in both China, Hong Kong, and Italy in those type scenes. Okay, great.
The three screenwriters of this film, David Kep, Robert Towne, and Steven Zalian, directed movies. David Kepper wrote. David Kepper, Stern of Echoes, A Ghost Town, Robert Town, Tequila Sunrise, Without Limits, and Steven Zaillian, A Civil Action at All the King's Men. Also Without Limits have Tom Cruise and Paula Wagner between the producers because Tom Cruise and William Mapother are cousins.
Who's cousins?
William Mapother.
Oh, they're cousins. Okay, got rid of that's right, family cousins. Now, as for those writers, those 3 writers or so, do you like any of those writers? Do you like what those writers...
David Kepper is the one who wrote the screenplay of the Kingdom of Crystal Skulls and Spider-Man about sometimes like... he even wrote screenplay another with the Brian De Palma movie called Snake Eyes.
Okay, so he worked on a lot of different stuff. Is that one of the writers you actually like a lot from what he does?
Sometimes I'm very too like always like to do some concept as like a very too like far fetched.
Okay, some of it's far fetched, but you said that
Steven Zaillian is the one who wrote the screenplay for another Steven Spielberg of Schindler's List.
Okay, right, Schindler's List. Okay, so 2 writers on all these different kind of projects.
And Robert Towns is the one who wrote the screenplay for the Chinatown, the classic film in the 70s.
Yeah, the Chinatown 70s movie, yes. Jack Nicholson, right?
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Right, so that's a lot of movie and writer information there. You were talking so fast, but you mentioned 2 writers and some of the stuff they did, and all kinds of stuff. That's interesting, all right. This first Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible 1, if you had to personally grade or rate it, how would you grade Mission Impossible 1?
Maybe C, because the first movie release it got mixed review.
Yeah, talk a little bit real quick about what you thought of how it got mixed reviews.
Everything is like not very like old styles like in the original series, but now they had to change the character because they had to change the character without Jim Phelps as the main hero of the series. Now now he becomes a turncoat.
Right. Okay. So you would say about a C then, a C grade.
Yeah. But sometimes like nothing like quite like an exciting moment, like something like everything is like very too soon about the plot about the ends, but
right.
Because in the original series they had to evolve about after they complete the mission they evolved as a getaway.
Wait, what is this about a getaway?
Because in the end of the original series episodes, after they complete the mission, they come together into the car and they made a quick getaway.
Oh, a quick getaway at the end of the episodes. Got you. All right, that's interesting. That's very interesting. All right. Anything you want to? We're now just about to reach 47 minutes in. What audience and listeners? Anything you want to tell them about Mission Impossible 1 before we start to close this out?
What?
Anything you would like to tell the audience or listeners that you haven't yet mentioned about Mission Impossible 1, concluding thoughts before we start to wrap this up?
Anything thoughts?
I think I have a feeling it's going to have something to do with the vault because you were talking about the vault a lot. Unless it's about something else not related to the vault.
Well, sometimes I liked about the technology about like.
Okay, take 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds to talk about the technology aspect real quick.
Because a good thing besides the bandage, it's like a good thing you use besides wearing glasses or a contact lens as a point of your camera.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Something with a lens as part of a camera for something. Okay, all right. Well, if you guys liked our thoughts and opinions and discussion on Mission Impossible 1, we are going to be doing Mission Impossible 2 next from 2000. I have a lot of thoughts on that one, and I can't wait to hear Avi's thoughts on Mission Impossible 2 as well. So at this time, I just want to thank my friend and co-host for taking the time to do this with me again for the podcast. And like I said, I can't wait to have you tell the audience and listeners all your thoughts for Mission 2. So thank you, Avi, so much.
Yeah, welcome. Hope I see you next Tuesday. Is it?
Next Tuesday we should be good. But like I said, May 16th in 2 weeks. On 2 weeks from now, May 16th, I'm working the election the full day, so I will not be home on the 16th. We'll figure out the details.
We could do a day earlier.
Yeah, we could do a day earlier or whenever you're available. If it's a day earlier, for sure. Sounds good. All right, thank you so much.
My mom's coming in.
Say again.
My mom's coming in.
Oh, then talk to your mom. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Hey, Mom. I'm just finishing podcasting time. Really? Yeah.
All right. So Albie's talking to his mom. That's it for him now. So I'm going to do my own little closeout now that we're about to reach 49 minutes in. We'll see him next week, hopefully. Time to do my closeout at 49 minutes in. And here we go. Support your local movie theater throughout the decade of the 2030s to see big screen movies on a really nice screen and projector with a bunch of strangers in a community-like communal experience, because seeing movies on the big screen, it's like no experience like no other, especially that very first time. So enjoyable, so much fun. There's no other way to have it than any other way like that. Why? Because streaming online at home is just not the same thing at all. So go to the movies to see The Flash, Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny, and of course, Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning Part 1. And with all that said, everybody dance and have a good time. One more time. Everybody dance and have a good time. This has been friend and co-host Avi and Millennial Man Motions Entertainment, LLC. Signing out till Mission Impossible 2, 2000. See you at the movies. And don't forget, always dance. See you next time.